Hey folks, Lester here. Today is the day of our dreaded vet visit. Vet's coming out in a few minutes. We have Ringo and Brady put into a stall. Those are the two goats that we really want to have looked at. I'm hanging out with Carl and Carl's family. Well, I'm here with Nate as well. Yeah, Nate's here. Let's not forget that Nate is here with us. Let's go over and take a peek at Brady and Ringo. Oh, these guys are not happy with me, but these are our two biggest worries with all of our goats. Ringo for that right there, and Brady for that cluster of stuff underneath his neck. So we do have a fan going on them. We have some nice cold water behind Brady, and they're fine. They've been here for about an hour, and the vet will be here any minute. All right, so Brady has a lump on his... Oh, you're going to write that? Okay, she's going to write some things down. So everyone, this is Dr. Priestley. She's been our vet for several years now, and these are her wonderful assistants. Y'all want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Aubrey Watson. I'm Astrid.
Okay, nice to meet you both. And now, Doc's been here several times. Brady has a weird lumpy thing on his chest. Now, I'm afraid it might just be fat, but because I think that I may be guilty of overfeeding some grains.
They're both castrated.
Yes, you did Ringo, and then of course Ringo has something going on with his front hooves, and he's walking around on his knees all the time. And Ringo's being his typical naughty self. So those are the fellas. Of course, they're going to show off for you. They're going to show off for you, guys. You're going to hurt each other. You want me to separate them, like different stalls? So they don't...
To look at them, that would probably be easier.
Okay, settle down, buddy.
I know, I'm touching you in a personal place, so it looks good.
So the color is good, so it's not like an anemic something or a parasite.
FOMACHA score. I usually use their eyelids more than their lips.
Oh.
Because their lips tend to be a little bit, just kind of naturally lighter.
Yeah.
And so their lower lid is really the best place to check.
Okay.
See how much pinker it is there?
Color.
Yeah, it's a great color.
Because all that white would be bad, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So they were worried about bloat.
Right.
Mr. Brady is not bloated.
He's not bloated.
He's a chunk of monk.
He's okay.
This is all fat. Oh, I know.
Hey, you be sweet.
This is all fat.
You hurt his feelings.
I know.
And it's my fault. It's my fault.
One thing we were worried about when they described it over the phone was a fluid buildup. But if I put my thumb in fluid, I can make an impression of my thumb almost like a memory foam mattress.
Okay.
But his won't do that because it's fat.
Okay, stop being mean, Brady. Okay, so it's just fat.
Yep.
So,
and then in terms of bloat, so the rumen is on the left side, just the left side of the abdomen, kind of comes back to right around here, kind of takes up this space. So there's two types of bloat. There's gas bloat and there's frothy bloat. Gas bloat you usually see kind of right here in this flank area.
Okay.
Behind their ribs, in front of their hips, and this would be...
Brady, stop being mean.
Super far out, and when you hit it or flick it, it kind of makes it sound almost like a basketball. He's having an even distribution, and when I push on his belly, I'm not getting any sort of...
air movement?
Like pushback.
Okay.
If he was bloated, I wouldn't be able to push in on his sides like this.
Okay. So it's just fat.
So he is just too heavy.
Well, sheesh, that doesn't sound good, does it? And you let everybody heard he's heavy. You want to put your legs over him like you're riding him?
He may take off with her. Yeah, I think I'm too good for that.
You can if you want to. Go ahead. Y'all get in there. Oh, he's being sweet, Brady. I'm so sorry. Brady's like, what in the world is going on?
Was Brady the one who was lost a lot of weight and got sick before?
No. Brady's always been heavy.
I remember there was one of the bigger goats.
No, that's Mr. Huck.
Yes, that was
Mr. Huck. Mr. Huck has never held on to any weight whatsoever. So of course, no one can come to the farm without seeing the ostrich babies. So both of those are males, little males.
So cute.
And the one over on the other side of the fence is a female. And Carl is the male, the father right here. And that right there is why Brady is so fat.
And the tiny chickens, though.
All right, so we're talking a little bit. I'm not gonna be able to read all of that because I don't have my glasses on. But remembering what you said is that
where it said in the book.
it's kind of the percentage. Oh, well, I sure can't read that. I'd rather read your writing. Goats
there.
need 40 to 60% of their diet from shrubs, trees, like foraging type things. And how much of that should be from grass? Did
Only
you say?
20
from
to 30.
30%. Okay, gotcha. And then you also talked about a pasture cleansing, and we've never done that before because we don't really have any other pastures that can hold goats without having to refencing. So broadleaf, what was that one right there? Clover and legweed?
Legumes,
Oh, is okay.
clover is a legume.
Okay, gotcha. So how tall for that pasture grass?
So when grazing sheep and goats, that should be about 4 inches.
4 inches high, okay. And that helps reduce the parasites that can live in the grass.
Parasites, yeah. And
Gotcha.
then the rotation does as well, the
And
pastures.
pasture rotating, okay. Ringo's 6, but he was here when we got him right after Harvey. Come on, Ringo, you gotta go into your stall. Good boy. Not to the feed room, not to the feed room, not to the feed room, to the stall. You can have feed after we check you out. All right, so Brady's just fat. Brady is just fat.
He's a tiny thing. He used to be big. He's a big man on campus.
He's a big guy. He's a big, strong guy.
Heck yeah, man.
Look, he only has half of an ear.
Oh,
That's how tough he is.
Mm-hmm. Baba Sprouse.
The dog chews his ear off and he's still going. Not here. That did not happen here. That's actually how we got him. Help you? Fluids or anything.
And the other thing to check is their what we call the interdigital space. They
Yeah.
can get like foot rot in there, but
Okay.
it's
That's
dry.
good.
Yeah.
So he just needs to have his hoofs trimmed again.
He does, but there could be, a lot of goats don't get the chance to be this old.
Yeah.
You have to X-ray to like really know for certain.
But it could be some age-related arthritis.
How old is he?
He's
He's
6.
like 5 or 6, so not super old, but not a spring chicken anymore.
Not a spring chicken.
Okay, let's see him walk around and see if he does any better with
Okay.
his
Watch
feet.
yourselves, ladies. Hey, he's walking on his feet.
He's saying bye.
Ringo, you can't leave
You
yet.
want to
buddy.
let him out and
Yeah.
we'll come back so we can watch the movie?
He's going to go right to the grain. He knows where my feed room's at. And he's going right to it. Can't go that way. Doc wants to watch you walk around, not go that way. Go this way.
I feel like he's not, maybe a little bit better.
I think he's a lot better, actually.
He just said bye.
I should have brought some grains out. Just wrap the chain around it. Carl. They'll come over here and look at the calf, not Carl. Her name's Annabelle. Are you a little bit nervous?
A little bit.
That's Ivy behind you. She's a real sweet girl.
Yeah. Just, descendants of dinosaurs.
I'm going to stand here between y'all and the dinosaurs. I'm going to actually go get them some food. If they're eating, they'll leave us alone. So they're going to gather a little bit of... Oh, here comes the babies. What do they think they're doing?
Here, Aubrey.
They...
You need a shield. Yeah, I'm ready to punch an ostrich.
No. They don't want to mess with you. Listen, if Carl's legs are red or if his face and neck get really red, then he's agitated. Right now, he's just curious what everyone's up to. But hang out close to Ivy because Carl's not going to get up near her. Oh, that's Donkey Dan there behind y'all. You can love on Dan. Dan likes love. Oh, that's Tina right there looking at you. Tina's naughty. Yeah, Tina's a naughty girl.
I think she's the one that tried to take the Band-Aid off my finger.
Probably so. Carl, they didn't bring you food, buddy. I feed you. I feed you, Carl.
Bad enough.
They are the neatest animals, though. And what I like about it is that a lot of folks that follow the page have never seen an ostrich up close.
I have not.
And so, really, and so we have a chance not only to see them at this age, but even as babies and watch the whole hatching, the laying process, him incubating them, you know, laying on top of them, them hatching, and just all of the phases.
So only males get the pink beak, right?
Oh yeah, the females, they're like donkeys, just they're naturally want to be loved. And so Ivy, you know, they've never been bottle fed. They just naturally want to be loved on.
Yeah.
Which is funny because donkeys are also great protectors.
Oh, amazing.
That's why we had them.
Look at her come up behind me so they can get closer to y'all.
Hey, bro.
Oh, no, it ain't gonna hurt.
Wow.
Does it hurt?
No.
It just, it's scary. It's scary. It's rude. That's rude. You're being rude. Oh, yeah.
These are my favorite scrubs.
Well, they like them. Baby, she don't want to be pecked on, okay? She doesn't want you to peck all over her. So the one with the green band is a little male. Let me feel that band real fast. Sure it's not too. Oh no, it's not tight at all. That's real loose. That's good.
I
And
don't
let me
think
find.
the mamas are too happy about
No, they don't. They could care less. I'm trying to find the band.
manhandling.
So that's a little bit tighter. I'm gonna cut that. Can you hold on while I cut that? Doc, you have your scissors.
Where did I put
They should be in here.
That band is getting a little bit tight on her. I can cut hers. I'll leave his because we know who's who as long as I have bands on one of them. Can you cut that band off there?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit tight.
I know, baby. I know.
Do you have another one?
I don't need one. I know who's who because the other one's really tall. The other one that we did not catch. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of summarize all that I remember happening before I end up forgetting it all. Let's talk about Annabelle first. Annabelle's fine. They got a poop sample. She looks good. A little bit underweight, but we know for a fact that after she had the scours for so many days, now that she's eating green grass, she says not too much on the green hay. You don't want to, the word that she used, it's very rich. And so I'm going to talk to Jake about not giving her so much of the alfalfa or Timothy grass. So that's simple. Annabelle, check. Everything's fine with Annabelle. As far as our goats, we'll talk about Brady first because that's the easy one. Brady's just fat. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Brady as far as that's not a liquid, that's not anything liquidy or swelling in his chest. That's just fat. And so I know that, and I've known that. And so we've already addressed that. I'm a little bit concerned with what she told me about their diet because she said between 40 to 60% of their diet should be things they forage on. Shrubs, trees, leaves, and we have none of that in our pastures. There's nothing to forage off of in our pastures. They're all grass. Only 20% of their diet should come from grasses, which if I cut the grains completely out, then they're not going to get what they need in their diet. So there has to be a combo of grasses, of other things that they eat. We'll have to think about that a little bit. But it was fat. It is from overfeeding of grains. And so what was happening was the goats were eating in the morning and filling their bellies and saying, you know what? I'm not going to move. I'm going to sit here all day and just do what I do until Dad feeds me again in the afternoon. And so that's what they were doing. She's also concerned with the fact that we've never gave our pastures times to cleanse themselves. Cleanse your pastures by a rotating type system. And we've never done that. We've always had our goats in the same pasture. So we have some things to think about as far as that goes. I'll talk to Jamie, Ellie, and Jake, and we'll talk about what we can do with that. And then finally, last but not least, not at all least, is Ringo. There is good news about Ringo and his little walking on his knees. That's a normal thing with goats that are getting up there in age. And Ringo, only being 6 years old, may not seem like that's very old for, by our standards, but for a goat, that's a good life. He's lived a good life. And so I'm getting emotional. That's arthritis that is sitting into his little legs, his front legs. And she is going to prescribe a painkiller that we will give him from now until the end of his days, because that is a painful arthritis kind of thing. And so any of you who deal with arthritis on that type of level to where it makes it where you really can't get your body, your joints moving, know the pain in that. And so poor Ringo has dealt with that for a while. There's no bloating. So for everyone that was concerned with bloating, bloating only happens on one side of the animal. on the side, or on a goat on the side of the rumen, but because they're rounded off, there's nothing in there that shows anything more than just their little butter balls, okay? They're little butter balls. And I want to thank our vets, especially the ladies, for coming out in the heat of the day. It's tough, y'all. It's tough. It's hot out there. And the animals did so good for them. The ostriches were very friendly and allowed them to love on them and stuff. And of course, the donkeys come up for loving. Everyone likes Dr. Priestley. She's our favorite. I don't mind saying it. Dr. Priestley has been our favorite vet for a very long time. And we trust her. I love the way if she doesn't know something, she will either call somebody. She has her professors, you know, from A&M there on speed dial, and she even carries her old textbooks around and notes. It's been a number of times where I've seen her go to her files and pull out her old notes from when she was in the university learning about certain animal species, and she'd pull out notes and find. I wish I could do that. I wish I was that organized, but it was a great visit. Everything went well. And so we will come back with other videos later talking about where we go from here. Thank you, guys.